I've noticed something interesting when it comes to the Zoro versus Sanji debate. Keep in mind, this isn't a video talking about who's stronger out of the two. And what you'll often hear with the Zoro versus Sanji debate is that the two characters aren't comparable, which I don't believe to be true. I believe Zoro and Sanji have always been comparable. Zoro and Sanji have very different dreams. Where Zoro wants to be the world's greatest swordsman, all Sanji wants to do is find the All Blue. Sanji does not need to train to find the All Blue. He is a cook. He is more focused on becoming a better chef, finding the All Blue, than he is getting stronger and stronger, unlike Zoro. Zoro's dream forces him to get stronger and stronger, akin to Luffy's dream. So one would ask, if Zoro's dream forces him to get stronger and stronger, how are him and Sanji comparable? And as you would assume, it's because Sanji's a cyborg and Zoro isn't. Compared to Sanji, Zoro is a normal human. You know, it's One Piece. And we obviously didn't know this pre-time skip, but using that knowledge and looking at some of the things that have happened to Sanji, it's pretty eye-opening. When looking back to Arlong Park, a lot of people like to bring up this moment between Arlong and Zoro as a feat of durability. How was Zoro fighting while so heavily injured? And I'm not disagreeing. Props to Zoro for being able to fight so heavily injured. Arlong even says, "I have to kill him here and now," implying that he is scared of what this man Zoro could do to him if he was fully healed. But just a couple chapters earlier, Sanji was fighting a fishman, Kurobi, underwater. Like, that Zoro moment will always overshadow this moment, and I don't get it. Sanji is dragged down to the bottom of the ocean to the point where he is coughing up blood. And Kurobi literally says, "I'm dragging you down here so your inner organs will burst." And using our post-time skip knowledge, we know his organs wouldn't have burst, but it still brought him to a point of coughing up blood. It did damage. And not even a chapter later, he is out the ocean and yelling for Kurobi to get out the water so he could fight him on land. Like, let me just reiterate that. He was brought to the bottom of the ocean to the point where his organs were about to burst, jumps out the water, pants for a couple panels, and is alright, let's get back to fighting. But when most fans think of a cool moment from Zoro or Sanji, they always bring up this one and not that one. It's something that I believe that has been prevalent throughout the entire story of One Piece, is that Zoro and Sanji have always been the wings of the Pirate King. This isn't something new introduced in Wano, this has always been the case. And if you have one wing stronger than the other, bigger than the other, what happens? You can't fly. Your wings need to be equal. Another moment, during the Davy Pack fights, Zoro himself asks Sanji for help. Keep in mind, up to this point in the story, this is the first time Zoro has ever asked anybody for help during a battle, and it's Sanji of all people. Like, no matter what y'all say, at the end of the day, Zoro respects Sanji as his other wing. And before ending this video, I want to talk about one more Sanji moment. And it's a moment in the fight between Absalom and Sanji. And during this fight, as we can see, Sanji gets stabbed through the back. Not stabbed in the back, through the back. Look where it is in him. The blade went through him and out of him. And just by looking at the placement of the blade, we can assume it probably went through a lung. And not even a page turn later, he's up and ready to fight Absalom again. And I make this video to show y'all, I really dislike the Zoro versus Sanji debate. Who's stronger, who's faster? It really doesn't matter. Oda shows time and time again, the wings of the Pirate King are equal and should always be equal. One should never be miles stronger than the other. And to bring this full circle from the beginning of the video, Sanji is a cook. Yes, he obviously wants to protect his friends and get stronger to protect his friends, but his main goal is to be the best chef he can and to find the All Blue. Zoro's dream forces him to become stronger, unlike Sanji's. And that is why I believe these two characters have always been comparable. And for you Zoro fans, I just want you to imagine what a Sanji would be like if he didn't care about being a chef. If Sanji prioritized becoming stronger over being a chef, I would not be calling these two characters comparable.